post-quantum. Our lives, as we know it, continue onward with runic bears.
Yes.
Oh.
I hate it when that happens.
When you just get in lined up and it's like, yeah, it's fun now.
Well, yeah, it's sometimes you can still land the critical, even if it kind of goes away, as long as they're still down. It's kind of a random chance sometimes. Like, the one that really irritates me, though, is I don't know if it's just timing on my part, but if you knock someone down, like, you knock off the riders, you can actually go and stab them while they're down.
Yeah, you can get a riposte in.
Yeah, I have trouble actually getting that to land. It's very rare for me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, I think it's placement on the body, because I noticed it won't happen if you're completely, like, rotate to the person.
Right.
Rotate them.
Yeah.
Like the shark move.
Yeah.
Get rotated, loser.
It's actually funny. I watched Body's video on some early Elden Ring stuff. I think when he got it as a review copy, and he pointed out something that you can do that I don't remember you telling me about. But you know those weird, those those flamethrower cart things with the giant faces.
Yeah.
You can actually, if you're able to jump over.
Yeah, I told you about them.
Okay, I wasn't sure or not, but yeah, you can riposte on top of them, and I did that with my halberd, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, you get a rare plunging attack, and before they patched it, the hitbox on it was insane. You could straight up just vaguely jump on it. Like, the easiest way to do it would be from jumping off of Torrent. If you were at the right incline, just jump off Torrent, flying slam bambos.
Good lord.
Yep, the Axe Talisman, that's a vaguely okay talisman. It increases the damage of your charged heavy attacks. That's all that does.
Yeah, I need to experiment with a lot more stuff in this game, because I've just been avoiding a lot of crafting shit.
Oh, buddy, the crafting can save a life.
I know, I've just been kind of avoiding it. I really don't have a good explanation as to why. I just kind of have. I'm just not really used to it.
You just kind of getting your bearings, doing what you do normally, and it's just one more thing.
Yeah, kind of. I mean, like, crafting really wasn't in the other Souls games. Really, if it was more like a workshop thing. It wasn't like, oh, you're just on the run. All right, I can pause and craft some shit as long as there's no enemies in the area.
Yeah, it's just, it's a campsite for Red Dead Online. It's just, it's actually convenient, and it goes with you everywhere you go.
God, I really wish we could play the game and Rockstar not being assholes about it.
Well, it just wasn't making trillions of dollars per second.
Yeah, because, God forbid you charge fictional money for real money and make it almost completely worthless within about a year or so.
Ah, and that's a good opener for our TalkCast pod show. I didn't do intros, ha ha ha. It's Connor, and that's Brandon.
Yeah, did you have a topic you want to talk about?
No. It's just that was a really good segue into going, hey, here's stuff we can talk about, though.
Yeah.
This isn't scripted, I know. But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those online support verification issues because GTA Online just got its, what? How many console generations is it now?
Let's see.
Two?
No, 3, because it originally, 2 or 3, because it launched on the PS3 and the PC and the 360, and then they were like, hey, here's an updated version for the 4, the Xbox One, and maybe also PC, but even though that shit doesn't matter.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Brandon, the generations, not types of platforms. So I'm thinking it's just 2.
Yeah, I know, but the way a lot of companies usually do it for PC, where it's like, hey, here's a free pack you can download, loser, here you go. And it's like, well, I can get better shit with mods, but Rockstar is a piece of shit with the modding community, so...
So, 3 plus 2 is 5, yes?
Yeah, so we have the PS3, the PS4, the PS5, and then all the Xboxes. So, yeah, that's 3 generations that this fucking game is on.
2.
Well, 3, because you got the PS3, 4, and 5. 3 generations.
It started on. You don't count the one it starts on.
Oh, well. Still, the point is it's bad. Skyrim hasn't been ported this much, and that's saying something.
Thinks about it.
Well,
thinks about it.
Yeah, I know, but it's still bad. I mean, at least Skyrim is a single-player experience that a lot of people love. Yeah, Bethesda's milking the unbelievable shit out of it, but we know Rockstar's intent for GTA is literally just to make more money and gouge people for online.
Creation Club.
Yeah, but that is okay. You kind of got me there, but I mean, still, at least I can have fun with Skyrim. GTA 5's single player kind of bored me after a while.
Yeah, I know. We have conniptions about the split single player experience with the characters. Also, this elevator.
Yeah, the longest elevator ever.
I just want to point out the skybox as it occurs and comes and goes. Because we got this pseudo bottom. It slows down here, and then it speeds right back up just a little bit, and then it'll slow down again because you get a little bit of a cut of Nocron.
I still love the fact that this is one bit of the game that I absolutely love is the fact that there's no real change. You can tell it's literally a magical lift because where the change would be, it's just magic.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love that detail.
It's probably because a lot of people gave them shit during Dark Souls 2 during incredibly long, unfathomably long elevators because they were all held up by chains.
It's like, how long is this chain?
This chain is twice the length of the equator.
Chains!
Chains!
I need a medic bag.
I need a map.
I need a there it is. Oh, God. Oh, nope. Never mind. But
yeah, that was just me because I was actually really drawn by those little images because it struck me as a later end Greco into Christian value like cuneiform. Like the whole lineup of the little figures inside there was just so detailed. I was like, oh, that's very pretty. Because everyone's got those little rendered characters in the inside of that. I was like, somebody took the time to carve little guys and all of these little thingies.
Yeah.
And then, this is the area that shows up the first round of the Claymen.
Yeah. It's just really bizarre. Within the past couple of years, I would say definitely within the past 2 years or so, ever since COVID kind of hit, a lot of companies, like video game companies and companies in general, their true selves just kind of came out. I don't think any of us need to go over the Activision Blizzard debacle.
Or GameStop.
Or, GameStop dying and then somehow coming back because people abused the stock market to try and get money, and then everyone on Wall Street was like, no, normal people shouldn't be allowed to make money.
Yeah, the Reddit caste system in our current society, yeah, that'll do it.
Which, that's the thing I absolutely love, because that is literally some Wall Street movie style shit, where it's like, alright, I'm going to abuse the stock market because I have the freedom to do that, anyone can invest stocks in anything, but then people that are losing money on Wall Street, too, normal people, are getting pissed because these not rich people are making money.
Yeah, and then they'll deal with some items from Robin Hood, yada yada. But Claymen have more poise than most states.
Yeah, I remember when me and you originally went through here, I was like, I was literally kind of doing what you're doing right now, where it's like, alright, attack them, and you're like, no, don't do it, just run. Because it takes forever.
Then they're really weak to fire, but at this point with the stats, especially because a lot of people go into Siofra River under-leveled for it, they're not worth the experience they drop. The time you lose is not equivalent to the experience you would earn murdering them. And they have a one-hit command grab that would kill people under, 25 vigor.
Jesus.
Level vigor.
Level of vigor. It's like, you die to a boss very easily. To me, that's very frustrating. Level up vigor.
Hey, could you pull up that tweet you showed me after we were done recording, just so I can read off some horrible shit?
Okay, are you sure you want to do this?
Oh, I don't give a fuck. Let's do it.
Okay, well, just to get some context, people.
Previously on Quantum Time.
Yes, so apparently Quantum TV put out a tweet, and it has a timestamp. It has a timestamp of March 24th, 2022.
Yeah.
So just earlier this year, not that long ago, literally about a month ago. And I saw this right after we were recording the last video, and I immediately started laughing because of how insane this is. This is from Quantum TV.
Thanks.
And Connor can read, so here you go.
I just want to thank everyone for sticking with me. It's obvious most of these other reviewers like Stop the FOMO, Digital Trends, and HD TV Test are just Satanists in disguise. Every time I've seen one of their videos, you can tell they are just trying to brainwash the masses. Brainwash is not one word here. It's two separate words. Anyway, I'm upset about it. Masses and their gay, liberal, satanic, atheist agenda. You know, because satanic, atheist agenda. That'll do. Anyway, well, 1 minute someone could be watching Stop the FOMO, and the next minute they start having anal sex with their dads, doing coke, and trying to conjure demons of satanic rituals. Satan influence isn't a joke. It is obviously already when Stop the FOMO ended up using the Lucifer logo to praise Satan and claimed that he was just testing for blooming. God, I hate the atheists who end their satanic rituals. Oh, God. What a grossly incandescent ignorance. Each one of these people are going to hell and will suffer for eternity. They need an ass-kicking from some Christians. Also, all the troll comments from satanic atheists are getting banned. Banhammery, baby. All the satanic gay atheist people accusing me of being a coward for deleting my video, I only had to delete them because of YouTuber gay evangel agenda instead of people getting upset at me. Which, well, why don't they just let me be? Because they're all heterophobic, anti-Christian pieces of shit. Blurred. I don't want to participate in anal sex, the liberal people tell me to. Remember to stay strong in the faith of Jesus Christ, who died for our sins. God loves you, and love will prosper. Hand cross prayer emoji, purple background cross emoji, heart emoji. Quantum TV, from the Book of Revelations.
Oh, Christ.
Man, what a tribe. We should do that as a daily ritual where you just pull up various tweets from Quantum TV and we could put that at the beginning of every video. From the Book of Quantum.
Right, and it's like it's like I said, yeah, as you heal, the grace of God.
Oh.
It's like I've said before.
Also, I forget, did I ever mention to you while we were talking that Claymen just turned into piles of shit?
I don't believe so.
Well, whenever you kill them, they turn into a pile of shit and their bodies stop existing. They're just piles of goop.
Right.
Because they're clay.
Right. So, but yeah, it's like I've said before, religion's a very sensitive topic, and obviously mocking someone's faith is wrong, and I don't really care who you are or what faith you come from.
But if you lump atheists and Satanists in the same thing, you just don't know terminology.
Especially when very specifically, these other people that he called out at the beginning of that are other TV calibrators on YouTube that he has a problem with, and he says because they don't care for his content or he's jealous of their content that they are instantly Satanists who fuck their dads and do coke.
Also, that there's just people out there telling him to get fucked in the butt.
However, the biggest part of that made me laugh, that instantly reminds me of Fight of Gods, is when he says these people need some ass kicking from some Christians. I'm imagining Jesus breaking off of his crucifix and then beating you with it.
Yeah, well, now we know who.
Oh man.
Now we know what his main was in Fight of the Gods. It was the one.
It was
he who calls himself I Am.
Which
yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, if Quantum TV ever put out gameplay of Fight of Gods on the PC and played as Jesus and was very good at it, I'm not going to lie, I would love to watch that.
Yeah, let's just have him do online matches with, I don't know, whoever's playing competitive Fight of the Gods right now.
I mean, fuck, if he...
Yeah, let's have him and Wooly. Let's just do it.
The thing that's funny is, another thing he mentioned in another video is something about, like, he doesn't mind hard games. He says he plays some competitive games, but the only example he gave was Injustice. And he says, it's like, yeah, he likes Injustice, which is fine, and then he's like, alright, it's like, yeah, I still get my ass whooped, I get rage and I quit, and then but I'll still go back and play it sometimes, and it's like, yeah, that's a fighting game. It's almost no different than Elden Ring or the Dark Souls series, and I've mentioned this before. The games are almost no different. Yeah, they're different genres, but they follow the same principles of getting your ass kicked and learning the controls and getting better. A fighting game is no different.
Yeah, it's similar ethics.
Yeah, and I know that's
See, look at all those piles of shit.
yeah, and I know that's not, but I know it's just kind of funny that in terms of competitive spotlight, you brought up Injustice, which has not been in the competitive spotlight, I think, since what 2019, 2018. Not since MK11 came out, and even then, MK11 didn't become competitive at Evo for what 2 years.
Yeah, they skipped a year. They did. Injustice 2 was played. It was on the off-beaten track because if I remember, most forms of Evo tend to have 6 different main flagship fights, and then there's the pools on the side. Injustice 2 was in the pools on the side, and so was Injustice 1 for a little bit. Um, to make a side note, because I was thinking about lore just now, actually thinking more playing.
Yeah, I know.
So no, you're good. I don't mind a diatribe, Brandon. It fills the space because a lot of these earlier episodes are just me kind of walking around going, "Hey, what's that?" and picking up melted mushrooms.
Yeah.
I just realized since these areas within the Siofra riverbed are the lowest sections of the Eternal Cities of Nokron, Nostella, and the Nameless one.
Okay.
You remember what's in Nostella that pops up a lot?
Isn't it those silver tears?
Yeah, those mimics
Yeah.
that are liquid metal and will imitate the human form.
Yes.
And then there's these clay men walking around underneath, even below that, barely holding together in human form.
Right.
It's a very similar concept to like 40K and the Men of Iron, the Men of Bronze, and the Men of Gold.
Oh.
It's just that idea of imperfect mimics of humanity just kind of sitting out here because they're just kind of brainless. They do seem to be worshipping giant statues and looking for those giant fellows in the chairs. You know, those ones we don't know anything about and they're just there for promo art.
Yeah, I'm literally sitting here because I mentioned it to you I think it was yesterday, where it's like I want to know more about those. I haven't done a lot of reading in terms of the in-game item descriptions or even the books or anything like that. I'm literally kind of honestly just waiting for Vadi to put out a video about it. So I'm like Vadi, teach me, Lord Master.
Well, they gotta tell us something about it first. The only thing I can make any parallels to is they're dressed a lot like the Nox assassins. You know, those scary ladies in the headdresses that are down there with their curved weapons.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're dressed very similar to those. So I'm not sure if they are related to the Nox, but they at least are dressing like them.
So wait, there are 3 ruins. You said there were like 3 ruined cities down there, right?
Yes, 3 eternal cities.
So that means, but are there only 3 statues?
I think
like
there
3
is actually 3 chairs.
Yeah, like 3 chairs with like skeletal remains in it.
Yeah,
Because if that's the case, do you think it's possible that those could be like, kind of like the overlords that were in charge of the ancient cities?
I would say so. There's only one problem with that.
What?
There's only 2 of them that are sitting down.
Where's the other one?
Gone.
Oh, it's not there.
Yeah. And the other thing you can draw a parallel to is Stelia, that place I went to too early in this recording of this playthrough of this version of the game.
Mm-hmm.
It has a chair too.
Oh, so there's 2 missing ones.
Yeah. Then one of those chairs has a boss fight behind it as well.
Oh, shit.
Because you can actually fight one of the Nox assassins in Stelia as a sub-boss. Actually, no, it's a duo boss fight of the 2 Nox assassins that you can fight later in here.
It really does make me wonder. It's like me and you mentioned before, it's like if they had to make a DLC for this, I personally would like to see one where you somehow go back in time and you actually take part in the DLC as part of a quest and you just kind of go through the lands before America shattered the Elden Ring and before shit kind of went downhill. Or hell, not even specifically that. You could have it all about the ancient cities down here because these are the one things we don't know a whole lot about. At least it's what we don't know about the least.
Yeah, there's not a ton that's been elaborated too much, aside from one Acetel. One of those fucking star centipede fuckers nuking the nameless one. Because that's why it's utterly fucking ruined in Darkroot Depths. One of those things just decided to level it one day. Not particularly motivated, but I mean, I like the idea of time travel. I do know that, with the exception of Dark Souls 1, a lot of the DLC for Souls games afterward tend to only... Every other one seems to actually do time travel back. Dark Souls 1 did it with the Artorias DLC. Then you had the Old Hunters DLC. But then there's post-game ones. The
Right.
post-game ones would be Dark Souls 2 and then Dark Souls 3.
Yeah, because Dark Souls 3, in the Ring City, you legitimately go forward in time.
Well, then they're always post-campaign. That's what I'm trying to say. It's
Right.
like, it's after the end of the game.
Right.
Whereas in, Old Hunters, you go back in time because it's an origin story.
Right. You go inside the Old Hunter's nightmare.
Yeah. Now, my three main goals and main ideas is there's a single overarching idea I have, which is completing the Elden Ring completely, since we are missing Ronnie's ring. Rune, sorry. We're missing Ronnie's rune. Ronnie's rune is the rune of the moon, and it factually is on the moon.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying woohoo moon level, but I might be. So my main three goals would be, okay, I predict something's up with that rock in the upper northwest side of the map that is surrounded by water, and water is pushing it back.
Oh, okay. Okay, I think I know the one you're talking about, actually.
Yeah, it's on the far extreme left of the map.
Huh.
There's something there. I think that will be a transport to a water level similar to Atlantis, because we don't have a true water level. That'd be fun.
That'd be kind of neat. I'd like to see what they can do with something like that. God, I love that skylight.
Yep, that scary underglow. This is prime Underdark right here.
I took
Yeah, I
possibly
fucking
the
love the
longest
look of cosmic
elevator
shit
in
like
recorded
that.
time
Hi.
to get down
The
here.
Celestial Starline is always welcome.
Also, that just reminded me of, you know how they have those weird cosmic bosses that are like centipede demons that are underneath? That's like a boss that's part of Ronnie's quest.
Yeah, the Starborn. That's what I was referencing. They're usually named Acetel or Attel.
Right, but you know how they have like the not quite so important ones that are in a couple of caves and they're just kind of there?
Yeah, the ones dangling from the ceiling.
It's a bad
Yeah, I
grab.
literally killed one of those with 2 lightning bolt shots.
Oh yeah, they're weak to light.
I know, but I did that and I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I usually throw rocks at them because you can break their stamina with boulders.
But the thing that I love the most is that it didn't fade away 100% right away, so it actually fell down and kind of hit a beam, and then the ragdoll physics hit really quick, and then it disintegrated, and I just got a huge laugh out of that.
Yeah, just going. Oh.
And I also wish I recorded something else that I thought was great, because in one of those catacombs where they have like the giant knives that come down like classic, like
Yeah, the
Indiana
saw
Jones-
blades.
Yeah, the saw blades that come down like Indiana Jones traps. There was like an undead that was in there, the ones that kind of like grab you,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
have no weapons.
Those who live in death.
Yes, it was one of those, and I was in there and I was getting ready to attack him, but then he
Yeah.
is standing on the blade when it's down in the ground, and then it lifts him up, and then the blade goes down really quick, so he's still in the air and then falls and lands on the blade again, gets right back up, the blade goes back up to the ceiling, and he keeps falling down, but he doesn't die. And it just keeps repeating that like 5 times in a row, and I'm just standing there watching in awe and laughing.
You just sitting there and go, hey, what's up with that?
I was just like, this is hilarious. I'm really mad I didn't record that.
I have a double.
Oh, man.
Ow.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
Yeah, I gotta say, every time I run into those guys in the catacombs, I enjoy it. It's just one of those classic things. You go in some catacomb, and then you realize there's Draugr there.
Yeah, at least there's more shit than just Draugr.
Yeah, and they don't shout at you,
Yeah,
so you
70,000
ragdoll, and the ragdolling
doubles.
breaks the flow of combat completely. Yeah, and then you have to wait for your character to decide to get up sometime this year.
I have played Skyrim so many times, you could probably play me the sound of any shout in Skyrim, and I could probably tell you what that shout actually does. That's that's probably one thing I feel a
It's
little
okay,
ashamed
it's a
to
little
admit, but at the
janky
same
sometimes,
time, I also
but
find it
foreign handles
hilarious.
pretty Ooh, another
Many,
stone
many
sword.
Die-Hard fans.
Yeah.
Die-Hard the Hunter fans.
Just a
Yeah.
little, but it's not too
And that's
bad.
an in
It
joke
doesn't
because
feel
I
heavy,
made
like
a
it
wood
doesn't have
elf
the
and I
weight
named
to
it
it
Die
that
Hard
Red
the
Dead
Hunter.
versus
A Wood Elf.
Yeah, he would.
A
Yes,
one.
Okay, because I replayed the game multiple times, and I made the same character multiple times.
No. There is no bones here, Brandon. I just want to point out dedication here. I will put
Yeah.
300 hours just in one guy in a Dark Souls game. You are good.
Yeah,
You just distribute it over multiple characters, and I just make a dude.
yeah, which is kind
And
of
then I sit here and go, why did the game do this to me?
yeah, it's just really funny because I can beat Skyrim and go to almost every location and beat the game. And I think when the PS4 version came out and I actually bought it, it took me like a month
Yeah,
to literally do everything.
Ebony Warrior's like, man, boy works quick.
Yeah, I literally like a month. Some people might say, "Oh, a month,
Really?
that's slow," but at the same time, I'm like, that was just me casually playing it because I think I was working at the time.
And it's
Find out.
like an 80-hour RPG.
But the thing that's funny is nothing beats the first time I played the game because the reason Skyrim's so special to me is that it was my first huge open world RPG. Because I never played RPG style games before Skyrim. Like I never played Oblivion. I obviously never played Morrowind. So when I played Skyrim originally, I never did the side quests. I only did the main quests, and I literally killed Alduin, and I leveled up to level 20, and then I literally got home to my house in Whiterun to Breeze home, and then the fucking courier comes up to me and says, "I've got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only. Let's see here. There's a new museum opening up in Dawnstar." Security.
Yeah, I love just guys giving you quest letter.
Yeah, it's the fact that I'm like level 20. I literally said out loud, and I'm not even paraphrasing here. This was on the PS3. I literally asked myself, well, what am I supposed to do now? And then the guy walks up and gives me a letter and says, "Hey, there's a museum in Dawnstar. Go to it." And I'm like, alright.
I sometimes often wish that there was just an NPC that would invade your world just to give you hints.
God, yeah, that's
Just a guy who just drops an item on the floor that says, here, go look for this.
Yeah, that's actually something else I can mention because I know a little bit about the topic, is the concept of the PS3, the generation of the PS3, even though that was our console of choice. To be completely honest, a lot of developers have actually come out and said making shit for the PS3 was unbelievably difficult because of the hardware.
Yeah.
And it was even worse well, I shouldn't say it's worse, but some of the more notorious ones, at least from the games that I played, were definitely Bethesda games. Because, because...
Creation Kid.
Yes, well, no, Creation Kid didn't come to the PS4 until the PS4. But on the PS3...
Then what engine were they using for Skyrim?
The Creation Engine. But the Creation Club content didn't, like the paid-for mods, that's what the Creation Club is, that didn't come until the PS4.
Isn't the engine called Creation Kit?
No, the Creation Kit is what people can use to make stuff. The Creation Engine is the name of the actual engine.
No.
And they've been using that same engine since, I think, either Morrowind or Oblivion.
It's been at least since Morrowind.
Yeah, at least then. But the thing with the PS3 is that it had like a file size memory issue, and it would screw up your game so much. Fallout New Vegas was really notorious for this, because New Vegas's draw distance and rendering, obviously when you start the game it's fine, but the more and more you expand out and explore New Vegas, and the more and more of the map that you get revealed...
Before you continue on, I just want to point out this death animation. Just keep an eye on it.
Okay. Oh god, you took an arrow to the head.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. That's hilarious.
Because you don't always get the spin and spiral. You'll get that on headshots.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay. Aside from that, yes, the short of it is the more you explore the world, the more it will render areas you've already been to, because you can now fast travel to them, and that would thus ruin the fuck out of its memory.
Yeah, that would your save files would actually gradually get bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point that on the PS3, if I remember right, your single save game 1 data for the entire Fallout New Vegas map would be, I think, at least 3 gigs for your save data.
Yep, and you can create multiple saves.
Yeah, and that's just from one. So 3 gigs for just one save, and that's not counting auto saves and multiple characters.
Which means on top of that, and then if you make multiple saves because you're trying to make sure you get a quest line correct,
Yep.
that's easily, what, 15, 20, infinite numbers of gigs?
Yeah, and that's kind of insane the more and more, especially for a PS3. The 360 I can't speak for, but apparently it definitely did way better and didn't have that issue. I think Oblivion on the PS3 had the same issue.
Skyrim still did.
Skyrim definitely did. Skyrim actually was worse because Skyrim would have unbelievable pop-in when the save files got bigger, as well as frame rate taking huge dips when a dragon would attack.
Or the game crashing when you stare at water too long.
Yeah, I remember you running into that.
That happened a lot. I looked at the river and I was like, well, that's pretty. Where to go?
Yeah, and there were a lot of things. There's a lot of annoying glitches that are still in the game, even on the PS4 version for me. However, the PS4 version, because I played it on the 360 and the PS3, the PS4 version is definitely the better one for me for consoles, simply because it fixed. Because I'm such a diehard fan of that game.
Still poison.
Yeah. The
little spindles. Hey, mother, you did a good job getting us nutrients.
But yeah, some of the biggest glitches in the game that annoyed the ever-loving piss out of me were 3 main things. One, if you're playing the game in first person and you pulled out any of your weapons, your gauntlets, and sometimes your weapon would have that clay-looking resolution where it looked like complete shit.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like...
It was low poly.
Yeah, it was low poly. It looked like alpha. And then you had ones where dragons, like if you killed dragons, they wouldn't burn away and give you the dragon soul.
Yep.
That was also really annoying.
Just a lump of flesh.
Yep.
Sitting there.
Yep. And then sometimes you would have dragons that wouldn't have any... they wouldn't have any skin.
Yeah.
Like, they wouldn't have...
Not like the intentional ones that are bones.
No. They would, it'd be like a standard-looking dragon shape, but it would be a low-poly texture standard dragon model, no matter what type of dragon it is. And in Skyrim, there are multiple different types of dragons that look discernibly different.
Yeah.
Like, it could be one of the ones they added with the Dragonborn DLC, where it looks like a flathead, or it kind of looks like a lizard. That one not only has a normal... Like, all of the dragons in Skyrim have the same skeletal structure underneath, no matter the shape and size of them.
Yeah, because bones.
Yes, because I believe the way the creation engine worked for the dragons was that they would make the skeleton first, and then literally layer skin on top of it.
Or you just render them as 2 separate models and one of them goes away when they're dead.
More than likely that. But even then, the low polygon version, no matter what kind of dragon it was, would always show up, and you would not see the detail and tell what fucking dragon it was until it died, and then it would burn away and give you the soul.
Yeet.
That irritated the piss out of me, as well as the insane pop-in. And yet I still love the game. On the PS4, they fixed a lot of these issues. Obviously not all of them, because I've still encountered so many of the glitches that I can use to my advantage. The best one for people who don't like grinding incessantly is the chest in Dawnstar.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Pidgey chest.
Because you'll get infinite hits, yeah.
Yep, you can literally sell all your shit to the merchants and then go and get your money back.
Yeet.
As well as all their shit and then sell it back to them.
And, it just updates with the game for some reason.
Just goes along with it.
Alright. Thank you, random guy, who put everything in that bush.
Yeah. I really wish they would do a remaster, re-release, or a remake of Oblivion, because Oblivion, for all its faults, was actually legitimately a good game. It was it's the oldest.
I'm a god.
Yes,
I'm a god.
That was Morrowind.
I'm a god.
But yeah, Oblivion was
Give that the blue point. I want to see Dagger Verb.
Yeah, actually, that would be really cool. If Blue Point could make a updated version of Morrowind, that would be a challenge. And plus, Morrowind was on Xbox consoles, so they at least they could look and see what worked and what didn't, and they could take judgment from there.
Yep, if they can update everything they did for the Demon Souls and yet leave everything exactly the goddamn same. Hey, look at that arrow the size of New Hampshire sticking out of my appendix. Ah, another one.
Oh no, your rural tendency's going down. Quick, drink.
Oh no, I'm gonna get invaded, and then I'll be invaded forever.
And ever, and ever, and ever.
Man, I was talking to Jake about how much he's wanting to buy. He just got a PS5.
Oh, sweet. Where'd he get it?
He bought it online.
Oh, damn it.
I think it was like his local Walmart.
Oh, no.
And so...
Please tell me he kept the receipt.
He did.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, but he sent me a screenshot of it.
Okay.
But the long and short of it is, okay, Jake's got a PS5 and he's like, I can't wait to try out Demon Souls. I'm like, you didn't read any of my comments in our group chat, did you?
Evidently not.
Alright, well I can't wait to see your world tendency, Jake. I'll be over here.
I mean, if nothing else, if you nothing else, if you could reinstall Demon Souls, you could help him out.
Yeah, I mean, I could. It's just I already knew games.
Right. Well,
So-
new character.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time today, everyone. As you can see, he's still a green little man. He's got a way to go. Oh, hey, it's that part of Caelid where we can suddenly enter Donkey Kong country. Oh, well, I think we're gonna get slapped with those donkey dongs later. Okay, thank you for your time. Goodbye.
Bye.